guys, I'm Fancy,
And I'm Colleen.
and this is Murder by Design.
Welcome to our Friday Night Gone Cold series. In this series, we discuss missing person cases, new and old. We've so far brought you the case of missing 11-year-old Colorado boy, Gannon Stelk, and the ever-continuing case of Madeline McCann that has been going on for over 12 years now. These are both cases that we will continue to update you on.
However, tonight we bring you another strange case that is currently unfolding. We are talking about 15-month-old Evelyn Boswell, who has been missing from her Tennessee home since December. So don't go anywhere. This is a case you don't want to miss.
Good afternoon. Thanks for coming out today. As you can tell, this has been a very difficult 3 days for our staff and our partners assisting us in this investigation. The Tennessee Bureau of Investigation and the Federal Bureau of Investigation have been really working hard the last 3 days, 80 plus hours. Finding Evelyn is our main concern and our top priority at this time. This case is unlike anything I've ever been involved in. We've had a child that's not been seen by the parents or certain family members in almost 2 months and was just reported this week.
I don't know what happened, but I'm the one called DCS and got this started.
And why did you call DCS?
Because my granddaughter, she never did come back, and I just want to know what happened to her.
When was the last time you had seen her?
Thanksgiving, up to his house. We all had Thanksgiving dinner.
So you hadn't seen her since Thanksgiving?
Thanksgiving.
I know some reports say that it was like early December, so yours was a lot longer than that.
Yeah, it was Thanksgiving.
Had you been in communication with them at all? Like, I know you hadn't seen her, but what about talking?
No, I hadn't talked to her enough. I stayed busy, and I talked to my ex-wife, and I told her, I said, if Evelyn don't come home, I said, I'm going to do something about it. And she said, you better not do that. You're going to regret this.
Evelyn was last seen in December. As you all know, these cases are already time sensitive, and we urge anyone with any information to come forward. I know there are a lot of questions and rumors floating around. Believe me, we have a lot of questions still unanswered as well. The investigation began on Tuesday afternoon, February 18, after the Sullivan County Sheriff's Office received a State of Tennessee Department of Children's Services referral. The referral stated that certain family members hadn't seen Evelyn in 2 months. The Sullivan County Sheriff's Office and the Department of Children's Services immediately launched an investigation to locate 15-month-old Evelyn Boswell. Her mother, Maggie Boswell, has been involved in the investigation as long as with the father, Ethan Perry, who is stationed in the military in Louisiana. On Wednesday evening, just before 8 p.m., the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation decided the missing child met the criteria for an Amber Alert due to the child possibly being in imminent danger of physical harm or death. Numerous tips came through the virtual command center and into our dispatch center. All leads have and will continue to be followed up on. We are continuing to interview anybody that may have any information on the whereabouts of Evelyn. I am personally donating $1,000 for award for any information that results in the safe return of Evelyn, and would like to solicit other community members or anybody from the nation to attach themselves with me to aid in bringing sweet Evelyn home.
Well, hey guys, welcome back tonight. So first of all, we're talking about Evelyn Boswell, and she is a 15-month-old little girl who's been missing since the beginning of December. And this has Casey Anthony vibe written all over it to me. Doesn't it to you, Colleen?
Yes, 100%. This is Casey Anthony, part 28.
I know there's so many of them right now that have this like crazy, the same thing, missing forever, not reporting it. I don't understand what's going on.
I don't know if it's just becoming more like reporting on it, and Casey Anthony like snowballed that whole thing.
I don't know, but I do know that there are some people in the state of Tennessee right now that are working to try and make it illegal to not report a missing child within 24 to 48 hours. So they're working on that right now. In fact, I do think we're going to be talking on our podcast with one of those people, that is Todd Matthews. And so he's going to be talking, about some of that, but they are all working really hard to get that law passed. And I really do hope it gets passed, because this has got to stop. This is nonsense. These children, and they're just going missing, and nobody is like, it's like they can't do anything. If they don't have the children, there's nothing they can do. I don't understand. I literally don't understand.
Well, I don't know if maybe 72 hours is too short of a time span, because maybe, say, grandparents haven't seen them, but, the friend or the babysitter saw them, like maybe like a week.
I don't
like. I mean, I definitely think it's a problem, and the people should, but like the legal thing, like, I think maybe that's going to be like a week. Longer than 72 hours.
I just think it's got to get past something.
Yes.
We can't go months. We can't go months.
No, even 1 month is too long.
No, way too long.
So Evelyn was first reported missing on February 18th, so just a few days ago, by her grandfather, Tommy Boswell. Tommy claimed that he hadn't seen his granddaughter since Thanksgiving. He contacted Child Welfare Services, who then contacted the Sullivan Sheriff's Office. In an interview with the local TV station, grandfather Tommy Boswell Sr. said he called Children's Services officials on February 18th because he hadn't seen Evelyn in many weeks. His statement was, quote, "I don't know what happened, but I'm the only one who called DCS and got this started," quote. And then, quote again, "I ain't slept nights. I've cried like a baby. I just want my grandbaby to come home," end quote.
So the Sullivan Sheriff's Office then issued an Amber Alert for Evelyn on February 19th, and the Tennessee Bureau of Investigations, TBI, the FBI, and the Sheriff's Office have all been looking for the child since. Originally, it was thought that Evelyn was last seen somewhere around December 26th, according to her mom, but who is 18-year-old Maggie Boswell. But according to her babysitter, it's more like something around December 11th. Evelyn is still missing now, and police have just arrested her mother on Tuesday night. And we have the court affidavit that we will be discussing later in this video. Again, I am saying this is Casey Anthony all over again.
Right, 2 months, nobody's seen her. I mean, soon we're going to get a call to 911 saying there's a dead body smell in the car.
Well, yeah, no, and the girl, like, she's been giving conflicting statements. The police, that's one of the reasons why she's arrested, because they say that she is impeding the investigation by giving all these false statements.
It's just so incriminating. Like, just stick with the one story.
Right.
Casey Anthony stuck with one story.
And when she's on when she's on camera and interviewing, I mean, she's almost unintelligible. We can't even understand half of what she's saying. But she's very, like, she does this crying thing, but it's very, I don't know, it's fakey. It's fakey, and it's just like the story just keeps getting weirder and weirder with her. And I feel like you know what? You're digging your own hole, girlfriend. Yes. You need to shut up. Like, there are lawyers that that's what their ads say is like, what do you do when you're arrested? Shut up. Like, she is not helping her case here. Not to say that I think that, I want to help her case. I want the little girl brought home, but this girl is not helping herself. That is for darn sure. It is
absolutely
crazy. I don't know. And it's so sad. She's such a cute little girl. She's just, 15 months old. Like, I don't understand these parents. I don't. Again, is it an accident that somebody covered up?
I mean, I think it's hard for the young mothers. It's always, and that knocking all young mothers, obviously, but that I think there's a short temper thing, or there's a frustration with being a young parent. And
right. I don't get to go out. I don't get to do this. I got to stay home with this baby. Oh, the baby's got a cold, so I can't go out. Yeah. Oh, I know.
But obviously violence is never the answer, and killing your own child is never the answer. You can always drop a kid off at a fire station.
I had my oldest daughter when I was 21, She was very unplanned. I had been told by doctors, that it would take a lot for me to be able to have children because of my PCOS and a previous miscarriage that I'd had. So she was not, I didn't think I could get pregnant when I got pregnant, and so she was a big monkey wrench in my life. I had different plans, but I am so thankful for my daughter and that we have this and I have her. And after I had my daughter, I could never have ever imagined going back to not having her or wanting to not have her. Like, but I guess I wasn't really like the go out party type either. So maybe it didn't change my life that much with that. I don't know. I just
Well, I mean, my parents were both 16 when I was born. So they were, still in high school, really much in high school.
Wow.
And both of them were the type to go out and party, but my Nana and Papa were, in their 40s and were, they stayed with me, and the community really helped raise me.
Yeah.
And then my dad has always raised me. He was a single dad. And so that took a lot of support and love, because usually it is never the dad who raises the kid. It's usually the mom. It's usually, your dad walked out on you, and it's like, I have the opposite issue.
Well, we've seen it on Teen Mom and Pregnant over and over and over again. Pregnancy, Teen Mom, all that. Those girls are all messed up too, man.
Yeah.
Whew. Like they picked the bottom of the barrel on those ones. There's a couple. I think there's a couple that are good, but and have grown up but even at 21, 22, we're still growing up as we raise our children. We grow up with our children. Even at 25, 26 having a child, you're still growing up. And so it's a growing up process, but I don't know.
Well, I think until 24 your brain is still developing. So you really can't even on the spectrum of understanding it. And I know a lot of my friends who have kids and had kids in high school and then early college, and they're great moms and dads. But I'm 25 due to this, how old I am now. And when I want to have kids, like I will minimally be 26 most likely 27 when I have my first child. So I will be older, but I get asked all the time, because Tim and I have been together since middle school. How many kids do you guys have? When are you going to have kids? And it's like, don't ask. I never ask, are you pregnant?
Oh, goodness gracious, no.
All right. To say this case is convoluted is an understatement. We've got the changing and conflicting stories. Months have gone by. The mom's unreliable. And like I've already said that, but the story just keeps changing.
Right. And according to the affidavit from her arrest on Tuesday, she originally told the police the child was with her father, Ethan Perry. Now, Ethan is currently active duty military, and he is stationed in Louisiana. She even tried saying, and here, let me read it from here, because I'm going to tell you what she actually, this is the affidavit. It's the General Sessions Court of Sullivan County, Tennessee, affidavit of complaint. So, let's see, who's the Detective Tracy Harris. So on 2/18/2020, I received a Department of Children's Services referral stating that a minor child, Evelyn Boswell, age 15 months, had not been seen since before Christmas 2019. Myself and CPS caseworker James Lewis made contact with Megan Boswell, mother and sole legal custodian of the minor child, Evelyn, at 217 Sandy Point Drive, and asked her where we could locate Evelyn Boswell. Megan Boswell told us that Evelyn was with the child's father, Ethan Perry. She further stated that she was supposed to meet him on 2/19/2019, or 2020, sorry, at 4 p.m. at Ingles parking lot in Colonial Heights to exchange custody. After further investigation, detectives determined that Ethan Perry is actively enlisted in the United States Army and is presently stationed at Fort Polk, Louisiana, and did not have possession of Evelyn. Through investigation, it was determined that Megan Boswell made the false statement to law enforcement in response to a legitimate inquiry by law enforcement concerning a material fact about an offense or with the intent to hinder law enforcement from locating Evelyn Boswell. All the above occurred in the boundaries of Sullivan County. So basically she's saying, oh yeah, she's with her dad, and no.
That was like one of the stupidest lies. That's verifiable.
Oh God, more than verifiable. He's in the military, dude. They own you. They know where you are every second of every day, practically. Like, dude. But you know what I think is interesting is how quickly this county was able to arrest her for impeding their investigation, and yet it took forever for Lori Vallow Daybell to be arrested, and for the same charges, basically impeding the investigation. You know, and that case, you know, we're going to keep updating on that case, but oh man,
I'm waiting for Gannon Stokes' stepmom to get arrested.
I am too.
I'm just waiting day by day.
Well, happening now, the mother of a missing 15-month-old in custody this morning. The Sullivan County Sheriff's Office has charged 18-year-old Megan Boswell. Her daughter, Evelyn Boswell, was reportedly last seen nearly 2 months ago.
Heather Wallaga in studio with what we are learning about this arrest on this Wednesday morning. Good morning.
Russell and Abby, good morning. Megan Boswell was arrested last night on one count of false reporting. The TBI says they've received more than 500 tips, but there have been no credible sightings of her daughter, Evelyn. Detectives say Boswell provided a number of conflicting statements. After further investigation, officers discovered some of the information she gave was false. Earlier yesterday, we heard from her about wanting to find her daughter.
Just to bring her back. There's $56,000 in reward money, you know. We all just want the baby back.
In that interview, Megan also revealed she's pregnant again. She's being held in the Sullivan County Jail on a $25,000 bond. Here's what Evelyn's father, Ethan Perry, is talking about his missing daughter for the first time, saying he's concerned for her safety and is keeping close tabs on the investigation. He says he wants to keep his privacy as the case progresses. Meantime, the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation is asking everyone to submit tips to their hotline. If you've seen Evelyn, call 1-800-TBI-FIND. Abby.
Anyway.
In a brief interview with the station WCYB TV, Evelyn's mother said that she was afraid to report her missing and that she knew who had Evelyn.
And we have a clip of that.
Mm-hmm. Well, the reason I didn't report it or anything is because I knew the person who had her, and I didn't want them to run away with her. And as soon as they thought anything was going on, they just kind of vanished. Mm-hmm. So I'm just worried about, you know, like where they're at, what they're doing with her at this point in time. I love her and I miss her, and that I'll be with her as soon as I can get to her any way I can.
Maggie, however, said that she would not identify the person. She basically went on to claim that as soon as the unnamed person figured out what was going on, they disappeared, not answering phone calls.
So on February 24th, Maggie Boswell gave another TV interview, and this time she says her mother, Angela Boswell, 42, had been taking care of Evelyn. Angela supposedly had taken her grandchild to some campground in Mendota, Virginia, and left the baby with someone, according to Maggie. Just someone, you know, just
stranger.
Someone. And Maggie said she had initially withheld that information from law enforcement in the hopes that her mother would get Evelyn, which doesn't make any sense. And just...
Yeah, because you just give the 15-month-old to a stranger at a campground. That's logical.
And then, you know, she keeps talking about how she wants to go get her. Well, why don't you go look? I don't understand. So Maggie claims her mother told her not to go up to the campsite or talk to the police, of course. But Sullivan County officials later said that the campground has been searched, even though Maggie's claiming it has not. They've actually supposedly searched it twice. And there is no evidence in connection to the disappearance of Evelyn. She's supposedly in some silver trailer, according to Maggie, that her mother told her about. And she tells them, well, if you're not going up there, I'm going to go up there. Well, then go.
You go.
Go get your kid. What the hell are you doing?
If you think that's where she is, then go.
I there is no way in hell if somebody had my child that I'd just be like, I'm not going to say anything. I'm just going to sit here and hope you give her back. Like, oh
No.
my God.
Wrong. And again, that whole you're not given the, barely a toddler, not really even a toddler yet, to stranger at a campground in a different state.
Unreal.
Yep.
Who does any of this? Like the story itself, like your story, her story, it's unplausible to begin with. Like who would do that? But then you look at it and it keeps changing, so it gets even freaking weirder. It's like you can't even come up with a decent lie. Like Jesus,
Right.
I don't know.
Say Zanny the nanny. I'm waiting for her to say it.
I know, and then there is a babysitter involved because the babysitter is the one who basically said no. The last time I saw her was December 10th or 11th. So no, she's been missing for even longer than people think. Like unreal. Anyway, we're going to take a second. So if you've been listening to our podcast, The Good Wives Guide to True Crime, then you might have noticed some changes. That's because we recently switched over our hosting platform to Buzzsprout.
And we love it. It's been super easy transition. Yeah. It couldn't have been smoother. Buzzsprout has made it super simple and gave us amazing features we weren't even getting before. If you've been thinking of hosting a podcast or you are looking for a new host, then we recommend giving Buzzsprout a try. Buzzsprout is hands down the easiest and best way to launch, promote, and track your podcast. Your show can be online and listed in all the major podcast directories like Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and more within minutes of finishing your recording.
It has been. And you know what? The tracking on it has been really amazing. Like we didn't have stats like we have now. It's really great with the stats. That's my favorite thing. So join over 100,000 podcasters already using Buzzsprout to get their message out to the world. And if you follow the link in the show notes below, that lets Buzzsprout know we sent you. And it gets you a $20 Amazon gift card if you sign up for a paid plan. And it helps support our show.
It's our show.
Our show. So as if the story cannot get any more confusing, Maggie tells police her mother was last driving a silver BMW and gives the plate numbers. And then Angela, who's 42 years old, and her boyfriend, William McLeod, who is 33 years old, rocking the cradle, are located in the car in Wilkes County, North Carolina on February 21st, and they're taken into custody on fugitive warrants. And Evelyn, of course, not with them.
Of course not. And then on February 24th, Angela and William appear in court. William tells the judge the car they were in was apprehended was a gift from Maggie, and they had no idea there were any problems with it. However, the owner of the BMW claimed that she was not received the payments for it and reported it stolen. Both Angela and William agreed to be extradited back to Tennessee, and Angela claimed she just wanted to get back and clear up anything with her granddaughter.
And so now she's arrived in Tennessee, and her next court appearance for the stolen vehicle is March 4th. And we have that affidavit too. So let's see. This one is Detective Clemens. So on 2/20/20, Detective Clemens was assigned a motor vehicle theft that occurred in Blountville, Tennessee. Victim Melissa Wood reported her 2007 BMW tag number, Tennessee, whatever, had been stolen by suspect Angela Boswell. The BMW was reported to be worth $4,500. The BMW was reportedly going to be sold to the suspect's daughter, Megan Boswell, but no agreement of purchase was made on the BMW and no money was exchanged. The vehicle was being purchased for her mother, Angela Boswell. Mrs. Wood could not make contact with Angela Boswell and the vehicle was not returned. So who the hell was it being purchased for, Megan or Angela? That's kind of confusing. I don't know. Anyway, on 2/21/20, Wilkes County Sheriff Office was looking for the stolen BMW. Detective Adams with Wilkes County noticed the BMW driving on Link Road in Elkin, North Carolina. The BMW was stopped on North Lomax Road in Trap Hill, North Carolina. And William McLeod was the driver of the BMW. Angela Boswell was the passenger in the BMW. Mr. McLeod is Angela's boyfriend. I am charging Angela Boswell with theft over $2,500, and the BMW was stolen out of Sullivan County, Tennessee. So that's another crazy weird thing. Like, who is purchasing this? How the hell did they get the keys to take it without paying for it?
I think maybe it was like a test drive.
And then they just never came back?
But interesting that they stole it from Tennessee, went to North Carolina.
Like, what are they doing in North Carolina?
That's suspicious.
It is suspicious. Like you said, eventually we're going to get the whole thing with the smell in the trunk.
Mm-hmm. I'm waiting for it.
So there has also been some backlash to people that are connected to this story. Hunter Wood, and I wonder if he has any relation to this chick, because her last name is Wood as well. I mean, that's a pretty common last name, but it's a pretty small town, so maybe. I don't know. Anyway, Hunter Wood, a man who was casually dating Maggie after she applied for a job at his restaurant, has been receiving death threats on social media. Hunter owns a local restaurant. It's like something like Hunter T's Chicken Shack or something like that. I don't know. It's in the clip. He says it. But he owns some local restaurant, and he has had to literally shut down his Facebook page due to all the negative attention. He claims he has never even seen Evelyn and has no knowledge of where she is, that he has only seen pictures of her in the time. But it was a very casual, like, I don't know, kind of like a one-night stand, but maybe it went a couple of times.
I've never met the father in my life as well. To my knowledge, the entire time that I've known Maggie, I've never seen the baby, of course, but as well as the baby has been with the father, you know, back from military leave. And that is all that I've known about the child, you know, never seen it, never seen her or anything of that matter.
Now, as the investigation continues for the search of this 15-month-old child, many people are telling me that they are being attacked on social media due to their involvement with the family. And I spoke with one man who says he has nothing to do with the disappearance of 15-month-old Evelyn Boswell.
I've never seen the baby in my life.
Hunter Wood says he briefly dated Evelyn's mother, Megan Boswell.
She applied for a job at my restaurant, Hunter T's Chicken Shack, and it wasn't like a relationship. It was an on and off going, you know what I'm saying, type deal. It wasn't like an all-out, like, you know, relationship.
He says he's known Megan Boswell for about 2 months and never saw baby Evelyn.
All I've seen is pictures of her. I have no relationship with that child whatsoever.
He says he's received threats over the internet, causing him to shut down his restaurant's Facebook page.
To my knowledge, the entire time that I've known Maggie, I've never seen the baby, of course, but as well as the baby has been with the father, you know, back from military leave. And that is all that I've known about the child.
He wants the focus to be on finding the child and not on him and his business.
There's been a bunch of stuff said about, you know what I'm saying, my restaurant, Hunter T's Chicken Shack, things negative towards, you know what I'm saying, to try to, you know, stir away the main key factor of us just trying to operate.
I mean, that's super interesting that he had never seen Evelyn despite dating Maggie.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, at least Casey Anthony's boyfriend, even the boyfriend's roommate, like, hung out with the girl.
But I mean, you know, but even in that case, like, yeah, okay, they saw the kid for a little while, but then she eventually disappeared. And he's saying that, you know, she came in about 2 months ago, which is about the time, you know, the time frame that she's been missing, and he's never seen her, you know. I mean, it was very casual dating. He has seen pictures of her, so she did tell him she had a kid, unlike Lori Vallow, who's out there telling people she didn't have any children, you know. I mean, just, women are crazy.
Yeah.
These cases are absolutely nuts.
Completely bonkers. But, like, I feel so bad for this dude because he just is unfortunately connected.
Right.
And social media is a nightmare already.
Oh, it's gotten so bad. Like, you know, I like it because I can go and get some information quickly. But then I always go and, like, research and find the news station that's reporting on it and everything. I never take nothing from Facebook or Instagram or anything like that.
Yeah, because it's all hearsay.
It is, and it's terrible, and they're all these, you know, and I'm in the groups and everything, and I talk and I discuss, but a lot of them women are just in there just, like, stirring up crap just because, you know, and they just like to trash talk and start rumors, and so.
Well, then there's faker accounts that pose with the real names of the people involved and make them look like they're saying things. But this poor dude, because, like, he owns a local restaurant, like, his own thing. So if it gets bad enough, like, he might have to close his business.
Like, that's really sad. Like, all because what? Because some chick came into his restaurant, applied for a job, and he boned her. Like, I mean, I'm just kidding. I mean, I'm not trying to be rude about it, but literally, he had sex with her a couple of times, and now he's involved somehow. Like, and I'm not okay. And let's just be fair. You know, we don't know that he isn't, but this poor guy. Like, I feel so bad that he's being, immediately looked at that way. Like,
It's depressing.
it is. It's terrible.
But as we said, so Maggie is now being held on a charge of providing false statements. She's on a $5,000 bond and has to wear an ankle monitor. She gave another interview where she alleged she was pregnant and that the reason that she was unable to take a polygraph test. However, authorities state they never requested a polygraph.
Yeah, they even said they don't even have polygraph equipment.
Our top story tonight, the continuing search for a Sullivan County child 1 week after an Amber Alert was issued. This is News Channel 11 at 5. I'm Sarah Diamond. Josh Smith is off tonight. Investigators have followed up on more than 500 leads with no credible sightings as the search continues for 15-month-old Evelyn Boswell. An Amber Alert was issued for her last week. A reward fund for information leading to her safe return now stands at nearly $59,000. New at 5 tonight, Megan Boswell, the mother of Evelyn, tells us she is pregnant again. She said she was unable to take a polygraph test, she said for that reason. This as the investigation into Evelyn's whereabouts continues. In an interview with News Channel 11 last night, Megan told us that her mother, Angela Boswell, was the last person to have Evelyn.
I was trying to protect my mom, maybe in hopes, oh, well, she'd just tell them where Evelyn was, but obviously she's not going to.
News Channel 11's Kelly Grossfield joins us now live from the Sullivan County Sheriff's Office, where deputies responded to some of the claims that Megan Boswell made in that interview with us last night. Kelly?
Sarah, after interviewing Megan last night, we did follow up on some of the things she said. During the interview, she stated that she knew where Evelyn was the entire time. She says her mother, Angela Boswell, took Evelyn to a campsite in Mendota that she says she told TBI to search and they didn't. After speaking with investigators, they say that's just not true. In a press conference last week, Sheriff Cassidy said Megan Boswell's story continued to change throughout the course of the investigation. After speaking with her Monday night, she says she told police who had Evelyn from the start.
I know she has to be in a campground in Mendota with somebody. And Mom told me that they had a silver camper, and that's all she would tell me.
She claimed TBI did not search campgrounds in the Mendota area. According to Captain Andy Seabolt with the Sullivan County Sheriff's Office, they did check. They also checked every site again last night and found nothing. We also asked about the rumors of her being pregnant, which at the time she denied. But new developments Tuesday has her confirming she is pregnant. She released this news by stating it was the reason she couldn't take a polygraph. We reached out to investigators, and officials with the Sullivan County Sheriff's Office say they don't even have a polygraph. TBI officials told us Megan was not scheduled to meet with a polygraph examiner through them either. As investigators continue their search for Evelyn, they also continue their search for the truth. I did speak with Megan earlier this afternoon, asking her for an interview regarding these new developments, and she declined. Coming up at 6, I'll tell you how community members are calling for action when it comes to punishing the parents who don't report their child missing in a timely manner. Reporting live in Sullivan County, Kelly Grossfield, News Channel 11.
And she's over there. But I don't understand. What would being pregnant have to do with you taking a polygraph test?
It would be your emotions and heart rate and blood pressure can be altered because you're pregnant, and like, when you lie, your blood pressure and your heart rate goes up a bit, but which is why people try to hold their breath but so when you're pregnant, your body kind of just does those things randomly.
Naturally?
Yeah, and so that's why she's like, I could be lying and get away with it, or
I could be telling the truth and you think I'm lying.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
But she's not pregnant. Have her take a pregnancy test and then have her take a polygraph.
Well, we don't know. She's claiming she is pregnant. I bet you she's going to go ahead and claim that it's this poor guy who owns this chicken shack. Good God, this poor guy now. Imagine if she is pregnant. Now he's saddled to this chick. Oh, Jesus.
That'd be bad. Real bad. But no, have like in jail, or she's not in jail anymore, but in the police station, make her take a pregnancy test.
Yeah, I don't know if she is or she isn't. I don't know if she's out on the bond or she's going to get out on the bond.
No, I think she's on a bond.
I think she is.
Yeah.
But God, crazy.
What if she tries to get pregnant, like, now? So that way she wasn't lying.
She wasn't lying. That has, who did that? Diane Downs did that when she escaped from prison. She got pregnant, then ended up, her whole time through trial was pregnant.
Yeah.
Oh, and I think she did that just for sympathy, like so that she could be, oh, I'm pregnant and I love my babies. That means I love the ones that I killed too. We're going to go over Diane Downs. A couple months here, we're going to do a series on some moms who kill and looking into why they do that. So, and I actually just got a book today that is all about family annihilators and the 10 different types of family annihilators and how and why they do what they do, because we're going to do a series on the podcast. That's one of our next series coming up. It'll be, I think it's May and June that we're going to cover them. We'll be covering several different cases, and we'll do Chris Watts, Christian Longo, John List, which is a big one. And then we'll be ending that, as we've told you, we've been promoting it for a little while, with our head-to-head, between me and Colleen over Scott Peterson. So now I have conceded the fact that I do believe that he should not have the death penalty, but that in no way means that I think he is innocent.
I'll get you.
Nope.
I'll get you all my pretties.
No, because I would have given you that from the beginning. I don't think that he deserves death row. No, but I do believe that he is guilty as shit. But whatever. Anyway, let's take a few minutes before we go on. We're going to talk about one of our affiliates. Affiliates, like we were saying with Buzzsprout, they're just one of the ways that we get to bring you all the true crime news that we do. So we appreciate when you guys give them a try. And when you do, we earn a small commission that helps us keep our show running, but it's at no extra cost to you.
So there's this new escape room experience that you can have from the comfort of your own home, and it's called Dispatch. And what it is, it's an interactive serial mystery that unfolds over several months. We love subscription boxes, and this one combines the fun of a new box each month along with our love of solving crime, obviously. We'll be unboxing some of these in the next few weeks, so stay tuned. To get started with your own true crime adventure, just follow the link in our description, and you'll be solving crimes from your couch in no time.
And I just found a new one that's it's not one that goes over months, but it's still a thing that you get. I'm looking into it because it's I think it's more like a one thing. You get the whole case and you get to look through it. I found that one too just the other day, and I was like, oh my God, another one.
See, I think at least with Dispatch, it's less likely to cheat. If I get frustrated and it's a one-timer thing, I might just Google and be like, hey, what did the other people say it was?
I do that with books where I get frustrated and I'm like, I just want to know. And I just flip to the end. I'm like, okay.
Pretty much.
But yeah, we're going to try out a couple different ones and bring them to you guys and show them to you.
Oh,
anyway.
And if you guys, hear us say, well, we just got a new book or are reading a new book, just know that our office looks like a library.
I literally brought home 20 books yesterday, and then I sent my daughter to the library today to pick up my holds that I have coming in. I go into half-price books, and I love half-price books, and I know that now Colleen's kind of angry with half-price books because apparently they throw books out. I don't know. But I went into half-price books, which is my favorite bookstore, and I said to myself yesterday, I was like, okay, I'm not going to get a cart because I'm just going to look in the one section and I'm going to leave. And immediately, they've got all these books in the back that are $2 on their clearance that are all true crime. And I was like, oh my God. So I'm holding these, books. And then I finally gave in. I went and got a stupid cart and I spent way too much money at half price books yesterday.
Well, so I'll give you, when the schedule comes out, I will drag your butt up here because twice a year at the state fairgrounds, Half Price Books has a sale where it's literally the entire expo center is Half Price books, and they're all $1.
Yes, I have to come to that.
And the paperbacks that we like from True Crime are 50 cents.
Oh my God. Yes, definitely coming to that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, anyway, this is another super creepy, super weird story. God knows
Super frustrating.
God knows where this poor little girl is. Authorities think that she still may be alive. I don't know. Maybe. Who knows? I don't know. It's one of those weird, strange cases where it could be, but you know, I always say that after so long, I don't believe it. I just don't. It's just sad.
Well, no, because it's super public now,
Mhm.
and if somebody had her, they would have.
Forward.
Even if it was a stranger, they would have been come forward.
Right. They would have come forward by now, and it's just sad. The police say that they've been working round the clock, like, you know, just searching for her, and it's this one's a great one because there's a lot of agencies involved. I mean, TBI is involved, the local sheriff is involved, the FBI is involved, but no sign of this little girl, and it's just heartbreaking.
I mean, TBI says there have been over 500 leads and tips called into the tip line, but none have obviously led to them finding her.
Yeah. So we'll be updating more on this. So just a little information so you guys have it in case you have seen something or heard something. Evelyn is 2 feet tall. Evelyn is 2 feet tall and weighs about 28 pounds. She has wispy, dirty blonde hair and big blue eyes. And she was last seen wearing a pink tracksuit and pink shoes with a pink bow in her hair. Authorities are asking for the public's help in finding her. Anyone with information is urged to call the Sullivan County Sheriff's Office at 423-279-7330 or TBI at 1-800-TBI-FIND. And we'll drop that information in the thing below too. And there currently is a reward topping over $56,000. I think it might be up to $59,000 now that has been raised for tips that lead to the girl's whereabouts. It's sad.
It's sad. It always is sad.
Yeah. I mean, I can't say that any of these cases make me happy, but
no,
it's crazy. So we'll be updating on this case as well as the other cases we've been sharing about. We've been discussing Lisa Snyder, the mom who allegedly killed her 2 children in the basement, Lori Vallow Daybell, who's yet to produce her 2 missing children, Tylee and JJ, and who have not been seen since last September, and then Gannon Stauch, and 11-year-old Colorado boy who has been missing since January 27th and was last seen with his stepmother, Leticia.
You know, something I'm noticing in these cases are these people seem to take social media right away to garner support. They all have support groups that they actually participate in.
It's weird. So strange. Like there's like a release Lori Vallow. There's what's the T one? Like T.
Oh, like support T, something like that.
But these women, like Lisa Snyder did the same thing. She took to social media, started a group for herself, started posting in that group. Then she like made alter egos to post in the group, like to be like, oh, well, she's a lovely mother. And what in the hell? Like the mentality here, that is super strange to me. It's something that I am really interested in investigating, like, and seeing what is causing that, because definitely social media has begun to play a part in these different cases in so many new ways. Like they've got the detectives that, you know, armchair detectives, you've got the moms and crazy people in the discussion groups that are just, you know, trying to start drama and argue with people, and then they go and threaten people, like that poor guy getting death threats on his business page. Like, this is just out of hand, man.
Well, there need to be more commercials like there used to be from lawyers saying, if you're arrested, shut your mouth and
Right.
don't talk ever.
Yeah.
Like, don't talk to the media. Instead, besides talking to media in these interviews like morons, like, they're posting on their own behalf on social media.
Oh, it's crazy. I mean, I just watched the Netflix one, Don't Fuck with Cats,
Love that one.
and I'm impressed. They were amazing. And then, some of the people, like we said, Todd Matthews, he's gotten involved. He's been doing it for years. But he was one of the first web sleuths to solve a case, like from the internet. And we do that, I mean, we've got a lot of that, but we do have some backgrounds in, the professional fields that we're dealing with. I currently am working on a private investigator's license, and we have a criminologist on our team, and we've got Colleen, who's, knowledgeable in the field of medical stuff, and we have a couple nurses, and, I mean, but this just crazy, these social media groups and these people. The thing for me, though, is like, I can't imagine if I did something and I was trying to not get caught. The first thing I would not do is I would not be going on social media to try and garner some sort of support and talk about it. I would be so concerned that they would figure out from my words what, and analyze it. And that's one of the other people that we're having on, is a guy who does that. Paul Hyatt. I've been working on getting an interview with him. We mentioned him in our in the live that I did on Sunday, because he broke down Leticia's statement, and showing how it was so deceptive and very self-centered and narcissistic. But these things, wow. And it's changed the face of true crime a lot. I can say that.
Well, right, because if you look at, our historical true crime references of these moms who kill, and they do these TV interviews, and there's, the no tears or the too many tears, and that there's just really no emotion. Like, everybody has analyzed it and been like, yeah, because she was lying. And so now it's like double that, because they're still doing these interviews and they're posting like morons on social media. Like, Leticia, who's swearing at strangers.
It reminds me of like America's Stupidest Criminals.
Yes.
Like, I don't know. Anyway.
But we'll be updating you guys on this case along with our others.
And we'll keep adding, and we're going to still cover some of the old cases too. Like, we're still doing, Madeline McCann. When we talk with Peter, I think I'm going to ask him a lot about that one, because he did a lot of work on that case of analyzing the parents speaking in public and all of that, and super fascinating. And if you haven't checked his channel out, you should totally go check it out. It's just Peter Hyatt. Search it and you'll find it. He has a lot of great stuff on there. A lot of the people that do like that body language and linguistic stuff, I don't like them, but I've really liked his analysis of things, But anyway, thanks so much for tuning in and dishing true crime with the Good Wives and Murder by Design.
Don't forget to join our Patreon member club to get exclusive mini episodes, inside documents and pictures from the case, and live YouTube discussions, and our exclusive discussion group on Facebook, and get some amazing Good Wives merch. # I'm on a t-shirt, guys. You can get it on other stuff.
We just launched a lot of merchandise, guys. We're going to be putting it out onto our Facebook, and obviously our Patreon members, as you join, you'll get those. Right now, we just released Laura Jacqueline Brand's full interview with us about the Bittaker Norris toolbox killer case, both of who have just recently passed away. And so you definitely want to check out the rest of that. That's in our Patreon account too. But follow us also on Twitter and Instagram at True Crime Wives or Murder by Design. And for more inside information, check out our podcast, The Good Wives Guide to True Crime, on any of your favorite podcast players. Have a good one from The Good Wives, serving up true crime one dish at a time. Bye, guys.